Good morning and welcome to everyone tuning in here for the minor league under 21 championship tournament, under 21 youth tournament 2025. Gonna have 4 days of cricket here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex in Houston, Texas. Chicago Tigers set to take on the East Bay Blazers here at ground number 5. Things just about to get on the way here. Game was originally scheduled to start at 9:30, pushed a bit towards 10 a.m. local time at Houston. We're now about to get the first ball. Good start, good length here from number 57. Some left arm medium pace to get things underway. Just from that highway end, gonna call it. Yeah, Prairie View, have a highway on one side. You see many big trucks and vehicles traversing. You can just see the back of your picture there. Bowler just towards the right of frame. Discussing a few plans. Akmal. Well, the first ball was a no ball, so he's gonna have to lock and load again. And this time taking full toll of it is Arya. And that's a 4 to get his account underway and get himself off the mark. Brilliant shot there. Just looking for a bit of movement. Not keeping it tight enough here on that free hit and giving him a bit to think of, Akmal. Arya being a bit more careful on this occasion. Bit of a mixed start from Akmal. No ball would have no doubt dented his confidence just a bit. Never want to start off with a no ball. Understand that creeps into the pace bowlers every now and then. Always pushing the line, pushing the limit as a pace bowler, so can understand it happening a bit more than spinners. Oh, and what a comeback there. Great bit of bowling from Akmal to just bring things back a bit. A cracking shot to get things underway from Arya, and Akmal is definitely want to make his captain proud. So Mitanj hasn't gotten any of the strike yet. He's viewed most of the proceedings here from the non-striker's end. Here's Akmal again. He just lets that one go through. Leave. Shot we don't get to admire as often in this T20 format. Very heavy offside feel as you'd likely expect in the power play phase. You're seeing 2 men out in the deep as you get in this early phase of play, first 6 overs. A man at third man, deep third man and deep fine leg. Everyone else making sure to save runs inside the circle. You see that slip and gully in place as well. And that's going up quite a distance. It's tracking back. It's cleared that infield quite comfortably. And it's another lovely 4 here for Arya, who's off to a flyer. There you see, he got under it. Was full, a bit too full, looking for some movement, no doubt, from Akmal, but not quite able to get that way he would have liked to. Over pitching and easily able to just glide that over the offside ring. Arya. The final delivery of the first over, much longer than Akmal would have no doubt wanted it to be. But a few promising signs from him. And again, to go with the mixed bag we've seen in the first over. Finishes it off at 9 without loss after 1. So we could just have a look at the batting teams, batting list. So Chicago Tigers having to bat first here. Arya Kanatha, 2 boundaries to get himself started. Nitansh, Sean Jindal, Pat Patel, Kevin Phillip, Nikhil Mudalar, Arnav Jamb, Shiv Shani, Rahul Basu, Gav Kera, and Yash Patel. Those are the Chicago Tigers, who gonna see that batting lineup in action first up here. Also have a look at the bowling attack of the East Bay Blazers so far. Just that one over from Ajmal Hajizai. So I'm going to see a new bowler coming in from, I guess you could call that the forest end. Not too much going on that side of Prairie View. Or maybe that's the prairie that they speak so highly of. Supranj now to enter into the attack. Right arm over the wicket. Still a slip and play. And a good start. Discipline line, discipline length. And Nitan surely wants nothing to do with that. Some encouragement here from fielder. Number 19 there inside the ring at cover. Important to keep that ball in good condition. Bowlers no doubt appreciate the fielder helping him out in his cause. And driven lusciously through extra cover. Fielders are just gonna watch that. Well, that's a great effort on the boundary. Wonderfully done by the fielder there to ensure that he keeps the runs down as much as he can. Have a look there at that drive. It was a bit low on the bat. Not able to get as much momentum as he would have liked, but certainly put his foot forward quite nicely and well done on the boundary. Didn't look to overcomplicate things, kept it simple and did the job at hand. That there is not doing the job at hand, giving the wicket keeper much extra work. It's a very wide delivery. All the fielders, batsmen as well, were just caught up in that. That was given a wide, yes. Rightfully judged wide. Keeper would have found himself very unlucky in that case had it been given byes. Just taking another look at it. Comes in here and that's just slipped out. So again, Not the best start from both bowlers on display so far. Oh, that's a good one. Nicely just pushed down to mid-on, making batting look quite simple out there, the Chicago Tigers. Now it's going to be Arya, who's back on strike. Certainly likes to give it quite a heave. Seems the more aggressive of the two batsmen, but first impressions don't always give you the best indication of that. Many times you might see two batsmen batting at one point and might think one is more aggressive, but truly, in fact, he's just in better form on the day. And nicely driven there, but well stopped. Applying that pressure early on in the field. Usually one of the best ways to get yourself in the game early as a fielding team. Many times you'd want the bowlers to help you out there, and you see the fielders there continuing to help out his bowlers. But also want to apply that intensity as a fielder. You want to make sure you're saving every run and making sure you make the batsman question every run he takes. Another good Yorker there. Looking to pitch it up, and good over in the end. 7 coming from it, 16 without loss. There's 2 overs now gone, and we'll have a look at the East Bay Blazers team. East Bay Blazers is going to be batting second up. You see those names there. So they'll have second crack on this surface. But for now it's about Chicago Tigers. It is going to be Akmal to continue. See some action as well on an adjoining ground. They're nearer to the highway. You see that heavy traffic flow I was discussing some few moments ago. Akmal's second over, and he's peeling there, and early wicket. Arya is going to have to go after his 2 early boundaries, and that's well done here from Akmal. Didn't have the best first over and certainly recovered to get this first reward for the East Bay Blazers. They're just a short, wide one, trying to play that, but not able to make any real contact with it. The end just edging out. Knew right away, the fielders as well as the bowler quite confident right away. So first wicket falls and brings new batsman to the crease.
Good morning, Dylan. The Chicago Tigers at this point in time 16 for 1. A good start in the terms of the run rate, but you never really want to lose wickets. You want to end the power play. You want to maximize. So it's 6 and 1/2 a dozen of the other, because you want to maximize in terms of the field restriction and get quick runs, but you also want to preserve wickets, but there's an element of risk in it.
See, he started off quite effectively in his first over, did Arya, but just looking to be a bit, to push the incentive a bit more. I would have talked about him being the more aggressive looking of the 2 in this partnership, and definitely perished in that manner as well. But now it's a left-hand, right-hand combination, so extra work for the bowling attack. Great start there. Bit of shape from Akmal and nicely pushed by Shiv. He's certainly been able to get a bit of movement early on here. Coming from that end, he's coming from there. So Shiv just looking to get himself into his innings, not looking to push along too aggressively as yet. Looks quite calm at the crease. Nicely tucked into the leg side there. Quick single. Interestingly, the wind is actually sort of coming from a south, generally south-ish, southeast direction, which is actually sort of not the most common wind direction you would see on a cricket ground, sort of pushing him into the surface, not really blowing in our direction to assist swing either direction. At least that's what my research tells me.
So back here, driving beautifully down the ground, and runs here that will go into the boundary for 4. There he was pitching up, and he was just coming forward and looking to drive, and driving wonderfully well down the ground. Have a look at that again. Advancing down the track just to get to the pitch of it, and smashing it away for 4. So he goes on now to 7, and the Chicago Tigers are now 21 for 1, and that's the end of over number 3. It's a beautiful look of the Prairie View cricket field. That's our media center there. And just next to it, you have areas where the players can just go refresh themselves. Have another media unit just to the extreme left as well, and then you can see cricket in the background. What a beautiful sight here at Prairie View. Supranch, 1 over for 8 so far. Drive and a miss. Big drive. That's a good delivery there by Supranch, as he just pushed it across the left-hander, the big left-hander, just throwing his weight on it. It's a lovely day here for cricket in Perryview. Lovely blue skies. There are some white clouds about. Nothing to be concerned about. As Supranch runs away from us. Pushed away through the offside. Nice tumbling stop there. It's a beautiful outfield. You can trust it to put in your dive. Supranch, 8 in his first over. Here he is, running away from us. Advancing down the track, he has to be careful there. He advanced down the track. Let's have a look at that again. Could have gotten into some problems. Thinking about what delivery he's going to produce now. This has been a much better second over from him. It's clipped away nicely. Runs here. Goes past square leg. The outfield is a bit heavy though, because of the torrential downpour that was experienced yesterday. So the fielders will be running around, at least in the early stages here this morning, a bit gingerly. Because, you don't want to enjoy yourself, but it's a beautiful carpet out there. Hats off to Mangesh Chowdhury and the rest of the crew here for the lovely work that they have put down. Charles also for the pitches that he has produced. Hoiked away! That's a beautiful shot. And it goes all the way. 6 runs signaled there by the umpire. It was a beautiful shot indeed. Let's have a look at it again. There it was, just hoiking it away, and a maximum. Lovely shot. So Supranch, after a good first over, and a good start to this over, where he conceded just the 3 runs of 4 deliveries, was struck for a 6 of his 5th. You can see a 290 in the back, vehicle speeding along. It's a good delivery, good final delivery to end the over. Throws at the stump. And it's the end of the over. So at the end of it, at the end of over number 4, it's 32 for 1. Both teams will say that they've enjoyed the exchanges thus far. It's going to be a new over. Faisal Khan is going to take up the attack. Remember, you're looking at the minor league under 21 series, and that is being played at the lovely Perry View Cricket Complex here in Houston. Clipped away nicely, runs here. This may well go into the boundary for 4, and it does. Beautiful shot indeed. You can look at that shot over and over again. There's Khan to continue. Again, whipped away. It's a full toss there by Khan. And that'll go very close to the boundary. And they're going to come back for 3. So Khan spraying it a bit. Just needs to settle down here. It's his early days for him. It's just his first over. So he's so far conceded 8 or 4 deliveries. Just needs to settle down, put it on a spot. There's something in the pitch for the fast bowlers. Look to get it to seam a bit. Leans forward and runs in. That's well played. I love the way Mitanch played that. All he did was open the face of the bat and guided it down. He played it very late as the ball came on to him. He allowed the ball to come on to him and he just played it away, gets the single. He looks very accomplished, Mitanch. But Faisal Khan will have other ideas. From the fire, here he is. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery there by Khan. It did shape away a bit from Shiv, but to Shiv's credit, he adjusted nicely. Again, playing very late, so he was able to adjust and get it down to backward point for 1. It brings the over to an end, and at the end of 5 overs in extreme heat here in Houston, the Chicago Tigers are 42 for 1. There's another game going on there. That's on field number 6. The players just relaxing, taking it easy. It's very humid. One would want. You can get a nice aerial view of the Perry View Cricket Complex. What a lovely complex. Great work done here by Mangesh Chaudhary and crew. Faisal, 10 of his first over. So at the end of 5, it's 42 for 1. It's driven away beautifully, effortlessly through the offside. And they go back nicely for 2 there. That's a lovely shot. So it's seaming away. Pass signals wide. Was it a bit harsh? We'll have a look at that. A bit harsh, but the umpire's in the best position to make those calls. 45 for 1 at the moment. This is over number 6 in progress. It's the last of the power play. Varad. Driving in the air over the infield. That's a beautiful shot. That'll go into the boundary for 4. That's a magnificent shot. Deliberately struck over the infield. The field is up. This is the final over for that. Varad. Here he is again, running in. Again, he's getting the ball to outswing. Good delivery, but just needs to come a bit closer. Just toying with the umpire there. That guideline, that white thick guideline is there. So he's just toying a bit there with the umpire. Better, and the catch has been flawed. Faisal just couldn't hold on to it. He got closer to him again, taking the ball away from him. Faisal diving forward, just couldn't complete the catch. And on hopes that he's okay, seems to have done some damage to his fingers. So a chance goes a begging. And Shiv will live to fight another day. That's a wide cutaway. And that'll go just a single. There is protection on the boundary at cover. Full pitch delivery, scooping it, and the catch has been taken, has it? Yes, so that's the end of Mitansh. Good delivery there by Khan. Khan, his first over went for 10. 50 for 2, Dylan. You'll take that in the power play.
Certainly a very well done power play by Chicago Tigers. Much better than what I've seen across at ground number 4. So a score of 20 for 2 there. So seems a better surface here at ground number 5, the premier ground at Prairie View.
It's a beautiful ground. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Just using the pace, but there is protection down there. Pacey, but a bit all over the shop at the moment. Look at that. Nice pick up there, Dylan.
Certainly got quite a bit on that, just not enough to get it past towards the boundary.
Heel might have brushed the tie pad on the way through.
His first delivery is a bit nervous there, Kevin.
Kevin P.
KP at Houston. See the way that Faisal is bowling, generally with the angle, look to move it across the right-hander.
Oh, that's a good delivery. Good areas to bowl.
Same sort of angle there, just having Kevin again play a bit nervously. Two left arm pieces in this bowling attack. Faisal, the second of those, or Akmal earlier.
Struck away. And the catch has been dropped. Should have been taken though. And then he throws the ball away in disgust. I think the ball just stuck in his hands. Excellent delivery though. Khan getting into his work here now. You can see Khan hitting the deck hard. The ball not coming through. And that should have been taken. You would have taken that in your sleep, Dylan.
Maybe if I was half awake. Maybe not
And then he
able to
threw the
take a
ball.
full sleep.
The ball stuck in his hands. Oh, that's a ramp shot. Protection down there. Guitar.
And some frustration there after that missed chance.
Yep. So at the end of 7, 53 for 2, we take a short break.
So Varad get his second over on the way now. VK.
Oh, there's a chance here for a run out. He gets back in.
That's actually the third left arm pace bowler we've seen on display now.
Yeah. You know, over the years covering youth cricket here in the United States, you see a plethora of them, both female and male. A number of left arm seamers. Kevin P. just taking some time to get going, but look at this. The wicketkeeper is standing up to Varad. It pops in the air in no man's land.
You can see that effect that he's trying to pull quite a bit of variations. Just getting that one to pop up but not really travel. Keeper standing up as well, knowing it's not going to come at any great pace. See, Shivers look quite comfortable since arriving. He's look quite calm.
Driving through the line. That one overpitched.
Certainly go ahead to shape a bit. Very full and
A bit too full. All he had to do there, because of the shape he was getting, if had that been a couple inches shorter, could have offered a catch to the wicketkeeper, could have offered a catch to backward gone injury. So I think Varad tried to overcompensate their Sharma and pulled it back a bit too much.
definitely seems to be getting carried away with the movement he's getting.
Ooh, beautiful. Slow delivery there by VK.
Getting it on target now.
A quarter vanished there. And he would have gotten him.
Maybe a double coat. A double shot of espresso.
A Sherwin Williams coat. Definitely not a coat for the weather. It's extremely hot. Driving beautifully through the offside. Picks up a single.
It's definitely one thing surprised me about Houston is that heat. Very hot and humid weather.
Yeah, it's very hot. Have you enjoyed the weather since arriving?
See,
Oh, what a shot there. Good old Matters.
definitely enjoy the Atlanta weather a bit more.
Look at Mangesh Chaudhary here, you saying that. You would say he has the better weather here. There's him, Mangesh Chaudhary, the man. In the mix, in the middle, doing his thing. A man who has done a lot for cricket. That's a good delivery. Khan's impressed, hasn't he?
He has that high arm action. Certainly looking to pitch it up as well. Get its full reward. Nervous Kevin has also made life easier for Faisal.
Oh, that's not a bad delivery. Signal wide. I would like to see that again, though. You can see Khan looking down at the track. It's a bit soft. Probably looking at an indentation. You'll give that wide, Delon? Probably wide for height.
I think it was very marginal. Agreed when you said it was a good delivery. But I definitely was looking for the wide call. Umpire's not always keen on those shorter ones.
That's not bad. Just back of a length. Khan has impressed me after his first over. Leaked 10 runs. He has come back beautifully. He's bowling with pace.
There's a similar thing we saw with Akmal as well. Went for 9 in his first over. Then first ball of his second over was a wicket.
So Shiv and Kevin is trying to do a repair job here. The run rate is not that bad at all. 7.56. I'll take them up to 170 or so. East Bay Blazers looking for the breakthrough. Oh, lovely pick up there by Ansh. In fact, it's Supranch. So the Chicago boys might be struggling in this weather, you think? Because Chicago's, for the major part of the year, it's pretty cold.
I need to get an idea of where East Bay is first. Whether that's actually to the east or just the east part of our state.
It could be where the Bay Area is here in Texas.
I don't think I ever fully understood what a Bay Area even is.
The Bay Area is close to what is now called the Gulf of America. And a lot of cricket is played in that region.
Because if I recall correctly, in the Major League tournament, they were referring to that San Francisco Stadium as being in the Bay Area as well.
That's good. That's a good delivery. Well played by Kevin, though. He allowed it to come on to him. He didn't push at it. He wasn't sure how it was going to swing. So what he did, he just waited and just opened the face.
What we've seen is, even though he has looked a bit nervy early on, he's not allowed.
Das at the helm.
Another wide, this time to the left-hander. Trying to cramp him up and just spare in a Yorker, but down the leg side of Shiv.
Whoa, pussy board. Beaten by a slow delivery. I like what I'm seeing from Khan here. Slow delivery, just rolling the fingers around. I nearly played on there, Billas. A little bit of camera work from Billas there. Sabrish, the man, is he going to come into the attack now? We wait and see. We've had 9 overs gone, 68 for 2. Decent start by both teams, but probably Chicago would have wanted a little more. Partnership, a runner ball 18. Boys back in the hot, they're just looking on. That's the Chicago boys. Shiv with a runner ball 20. This time playing straight down the ground, a bit uppishly.
That gentler piece, variation of piece here has definitely kept the batsman thinking. Farad already with that reward earlier.
Brad has shown that he has some variety as well. Has a pretty long run up though for a medium pacer. If I have that length of a run up, Dylan, no keeper is standing up to me. I'm gonna tell him go back. Oh, beautiful. Nice shape there.
Well, the keeper must be more scared than anything, watching him with that long run up, then just letting go something a bit gentle
look at
like
that.
this.
Beautiful swing there. I think what Varad needs to do is, it can't be too predictable here. He needs to probably look to push through the straight one, the one with the angle coming into the left-hander, probably hold the ball cross seam. Too wide. Ball still swung away.
Yeah, and you see it is something I enjoy looking at, is that swing away from the batsman. I'm sure that the bowler would as well, but when you have that going for you so strongly, that variation, that straighter one you're talking about, becomes so much more lethal.
Yeah, more often than not, you get your wickets with the straighter ball because you're setting up the batsman better.
Something that James Anderson did so well too, with his variation in and away, and even his length variation. A lot of people would have always asked him to go a bit fuller, but knew when to pitch it up and when to just hit his length.
Jimmy Anderson, Sachin Tendulkar trophy on right now. That battle is in India. I'll get your thoughts on that soon. That's good, but again, the length. He's able to whip it away a bit too full on that occasion. Agreed with Sunil Gavaskar's comment that it should be the Tendulkar Anderson trophy and not the Anderson Tendulkar trophy.
Well, I think given the alphabetical order, I would have to stick with what it's named as currently, but really was a question of mine. I hadn't actually heard what Sunil Gavaskar had said, but
He said it should be the Tendulkar Anderson trophy. Varad, as you know, Dylan Sonny Gavaskar has become quite a controversial commentator.
it's certainly something I like about my commentators, controversies. But when I was actually looking into the trophy itself and I was about to Google it, I didn't know which name to put first.
Mm-hmm.
But when I put Anderson Tendulkar, it just gave me the right result. So before that, I didn't even know which one they officially named it as. But never really looked back at previous trophies to see that as well.
I guess it's all about where you come from. Probably the English would love it to be Anderson Tendulkar, which is at, and at is an English word. And the Indians would like it to be the Tendulkar Anderson, which is star, which is an Indian word. Did you think about it like that? At the halfway stage, in tremendous heat here in Houston, Chicago batting first. They are 73 for the loss of 2.
About to get some change of pace, some spin into the attack now. So Sabrish round the wicket now to Shiv. Don't think I even had to guess if it was off spin, and well, that was off spin as ever. Well, we see the off spinner coming one to the left hander, and Shiv is definitely gonna receive a wake up call after that delivery. That was beautiful. Fuller than you'd expect it as well, but the pitch has really offered quite a bit. Oh, and this time just finding a better length, slowing it up, making Shiv want to attack him, come run down the pitch. And he's not been able to dislodge him as yet. His partnership definitely not going at any real pace or anything like that, but solid to keep them in a good phase here. Slip in place as well now. Nicely tucked away, a bit too short this time. Now brings the right hander on strike. See how he's able to negotiate the ball turning into him now. He's going to be hitting towards the eastern side, but and as I would have mentioned earlier, wind is more coming from a southern direction it was situated at, so not too much to influence the drift and swing, which, I mean, we've seen quite a bit of swing already. And nicely played down by Kevin. Not the greatest bit of fielding there. Might have wanted a bit more backup, but didn't result in an extra run. So one more ball in this over. Slip still in place. And that's trying to sweep there is Shiv. The first time in his innings looking a bit as if he wants to get a move on. Can't blame him at this stage, but he's looked so good so far. And way too full there. On the stance average, looking for a bit of air, a bit of drift, but definitely pitched that one too full. 77 for 2 now after 11 of 78 for 2. Scramble through for one more. Bowler Ryan into the attack. It's Ryan Ketekar. And that's chipped up in the air. Fielders are converging, but no luck for them in the end. Definitely had 3 fielders converging in the region where the ball was to go, but weren't quite able to get quite to it. East Bay Blazers definitely would want to break this partnership. And that's going up again. That's going way up. That's going straight up. And it's down into his hands, is it? It is down into his hands. Shiv has perished now, looking to go a bit more attacking. No doubt you would have thought his team would be wanting him to just get a bit of a move on. Going at a strike rate under 100 and looking to go big, looking to go across the line and just coming off that top edge easily into the hands of that fielder at cover. So third wicket has fallen now for Chicago Tigers. Shiv goes for 27 from his 31 deliveries. So Rahul Basu now comes out to the middle. Here's new batsman Rahul Basu. So rewarding his first over from Ryan. And Basu's off the mark right away. Not wasting any time here. So there you see a nice push down to long off. Moving with the ball, just getting his weight forward. So it'd be interesting to see where the team management wants Chicago Tigers to play this and carry this innings from here. they want extra aggression to continue or not. Already 12 overs deep. Again, not looking to do anything too intense as yet. So now 12 overs, then bowled 83 for 3. Score stands for Chicago Tigers. So Sabrish now to start his second over. Good start in his first over. Kept things tight, and when you think about it, could have resulted in that wicket that fell. He's applied the pressure well in that previous over, and then the wicket falling soon after. Oh, and that one just tickled past the keeper from Rahul Basu, just being a bit cheeky there, but well played in the end and well run in the end as well. He's playing it quite smartly with the turn, knowing that would have been able to tickle it quite easily, and making full use of that, getting his 2 runs with relative ease. Goes again, this time cross-batted shot into the deep, and well done by that fielder in the deep there. 2 more they'll push through for. Sweeping, getting down, and only 1 in the end. Well, definitely see from the intent that Rahul has showed, at least, that definitely seem intent on pushing for a bit of more aggression, but Sabrish has made that quite difficult for them. So it's really tight bowling on display. Again, so smartly done. Scramble through for 1 more. That's been quite an interesting over. He's kept things tight, Sabrish, yes, but they've still been able to just eke out runs from him. Easy, low-risk runs. This time cut through the offside. Again, they'll come back for a second, so very effective batting and running here. And it is really the 13. So Ryan continues now after that wicket in the previous over. Kevin just looking a bit frustrated now, not quite able to hit any significant shots quite as yet. It's just 1-4 so far in his innings. He definitely want to break the shackles a bit. It's only been 1-6 in the inning so far from Mitanch earlier on. Wonderful delivery there. And they think about a second, but not taken in the end. So Rahul take up strike. And again, he's keeping it so tight as Ryan. Not sure what to make of his bowling, Chicago. This is really just simple, doing the basics and keeping things simple more than anything here from Ryan. Ketekar. So Rahul Basu waits again. A full toss that's going up quite a distance. And it's going straight into his hands. Fourth wicket falls now for Chicago. Suleiman takes that catch out in the deep. So that second wicket falling. Rahul not able to score too many. Again, second wicket taken by Ketekar. And this time full 4. Things not quite going the way of Chicago as they would have liked it to. You just look there, that worm just leveling off a bit. That fourth wicket will make it even more difficult. So Parth Patel, the new batsman, joining Kevin Phillip. Scored a lot of runs playing on the minor league circuit, Parth Patel. 316 matches he's played and reasonable strike rate of 93. Would want to improve on that in this format though, so he'd be going out there with a task, no doubt.
So it's 92 for 4, which is good in terms of the run rate. Slashed away. Gets away from the fielder. But again, the outfield not lightning fast at this point in time because of the rain yesterday. And an overthrow. So as I was saying, Dylan, 92 in over number 14 is not bad at all in terms of the run rate. The fact that they have lost 4 wickets will then delay the acceleration point towards the back end of the innings. Your thoughts?
Could have definitely seen that with Shiv and Kevin when they were batting together, that at one point Shiv looked as if he was trying to go a bit harder, but didn't seem to suit his style of play. Now, Kevin Phillip is still there, but seems to be the anchor.
And let's see who comes in now for over number 15. So at this point in time, it's just about that time when you look to mark a period where you want to start the acceleration. You don't want to start it just yet because 4 wickets are down. Full toss, driven. Sabrish, 13 off 2. Not bad. So here's a leg spinner. Nice line. Not to be tempted. And again, you find situations like this with Pat Patel now coming into the crease. He's not going to attack those just yet. He wants to have a look. But every ball in a T10 zone, and that is when you lose power like T and Tech.
Common occurrence for T and Tech. You can see the yellow on the bowling outfits as well. Certainly allowing for Chicago to lose some power.
A bit too wide. Kevin has dug himself into a bit of a hole. Not being able to maximize on that. He should have taken advantage of that. It's tapped away.
Yeah, Kevin Phillip has really looked quite labored at the crease. Early on was struggling, and you could have understood it at that point, but hasn't quite been able to build up right away. Almost a collision, but quite
why,
safe in the end.
why did the onrushing fielder Suleiman continue to come? Obviously, unless the wicketkeeper said nothing, that could have led to a clash. And, you know, it's something that we always have discussions about with playing in a match, and the ball popped just to mid-on. And I yelled mines, and 2 onrushing fielders left the ball. It fell safely to the ground. So that's something that you can try when you're playing for Sam Army, Mr. Sharma.
Not too sure if I'd be able to try. I'd probably run away from the catch and let someone else pick that one up.
Slashed away through the offside. That's a lovely shot. But again, protection down there.
It's been a really inspired spell from Ryan.
Yeah, the 100 is up though. Predictions of a final score, 5 overs to go.
I think given the sort of collapse we've seen, they'd be quite happy to get to about 130, 135. Be an interesting total on the surface because it has provided something for the bowlers. It's not been easiest to score runs on. We saw the leg spinner in action previously, and the off spinner was also in action earlier, getting quite a bit of turn from the surface. What Ryan has done so well is his few variations, but more his accuracy and just fact that at the other end there's been so much pressure that's allowed him to feast upon that, and that's been feasted upon by Pat Patel, but straight to that fielder at deep square. New batsman Arnav Jam. Given wide. It's a bit marginal. Batsman moved across a bit, but not enough by the umpire to judge it not wide. Again, a good change up there from Ryan. It's much slower and basically almost presented a chance of a caught and bowled there, but angle not working out in the bowler's favor.
Not bad at all from Ryan. Length was good. Couldn't come forward to drive him.
One more to go in this over. One more to go in a spell as well. No doubt he'd want to finish that spell.
Full toss, Hoyt, and that's 6. A bad delivery there from Ryan. Yeah, just slipping out down the leg side. Nice pickup.
It's certainly been easy to play your shots when given that opportunity. That was just a full toss to wide as well. It was easy to just release that pressure and play that shot beautifully from Arnav. Leg spinner is going to get another over. Advait Dumal Rao. A 6 would have certainly helped the cause of Chicago.
Big turn, but the line was all wrong there. Lucky to get away with that. Arnav, 7 of 4. Arni, in fact, Pativ, 8 of 6. And Arnav, 7 of 4. No, what a shot. A paddle around the corner, and they come back for 2. Beautiful. Beautiful delivery there by the leg spinner. Getting purchased from this track. he's gone. He's a goner. Beautiful work there by the wicketkeeper. And also from Advait. Look at this. Let's held it back a bit. He was advancing down the track. You also saw him. He left home a bit too early. He pushed it wide. It spun further. And was able to drag him out of his crease. And he has to go. So, Pat Patel has to leave. It's 112 for 6.
New batsman Nikhil at the crease, and well, not wasted any time with that. Off the mark with a boundary. It's pitched up a bit too much and just put bat to ball, really. Didn't have to do too much. Again tossed up and hit straight back. This time the long off fielder is able to cut it off. Good running as well. Bright start from Nikhil Mudalia. Few adjustments to the field to close out the over from Advait. It's just a single to finish off. 119 for 6 with 3 more to go. So Akmal now comes back into the attack. Likely would close out the innings. Driven back straight at him. No run, and Nikhil would definitely not like that start to the over, but good start from Akmal.
So you see the value of taking wickets here, Dylan. They have actually slowed this run rate down to a snail's pace because of the fact that they have taken wickets. In the air, dropping safely.
going up in the air quite a few times today. Fielders haven't always been where it's landed, but it's definitely seemed as if whatever the bowlers have been able to do or whatever the pitcher has been able to do has made it difficult to go through the air.
Akmal has done a good job. 2.31 for 16. As a matter of fact, most of the bowlers have done a good job.
There's a opening wicket as well that he took.
It's hard work bowling in this sort of heat out there. Oh, he's advancing down. Just gets the leg by.
Even the batsmen seem already struggling with the heat. See, he's down on his haunches, the non-striker. Certainly quite punishing heat. Says 31 degrees, but says it also feels like 37, which is not easy. And that's an interesting one there. The keeper didn't quite know what to make of that. Just trying a bit of a slow ball bouncer and bounce a bit too high, and then bounce awkwardly to the keeper. Allowed a few extra runs. Leg by, so not adjudged to be high enough. Contact came off of something. Correction, that was one by, so no contact. This time, just a labor drive from the batsman. He's not able to get past any of those fielders. Good over here from Akmal comes to an end. 124 for 6 with 2 more to go.
So just 2 to go, and if you were in the position, they'll on 4 wickets, 2 overs to go, had you been the coach sitting under that lovely gazebo to the back of us, what would be your instruction?
Well, I think first up they need to bat out the remaining deliveries. Shouldn't be too difficult given they still have 4 wickets in hand, but is about maximizing the runs now. Surface has looked as if it is going to offer something for the bowlers, so wouldn't want to go too crazy at this point, but is about trying to get as much runs as they can. As I would have said earlier, about 135, maybe could look to push that up a bit more.
Clipped away nicely. Just 1.
I think more than anything, the coach would want them to just play as they naturally would, especially since it's still an under 21 tournament.
But these are big boys under 21. So you would expect them to be able to handle pressures of back of the innings and stuff. What was he trying to do there? Arnav, let's have a look at that again. Actually, from my vantage position here, he was advancing down the track. Look at this. In no man's land. The ball cut him in half. And one came back in. So at best here, I think they will try to get up to 140, which is still something that you can work with. Your bowlers can work with. Well, that's good. This is good bowling. They will take nothing away from Supranch. His first over went for 8. And the last 9 deliveries, he's conceded just 11.
I think if they're going to draw inspiration from anything, it's going to be the bowlers, because they would certainly back themselves to be able to put up a similar sort of bowling performance. So it's going to be more difficult for the bowlers when the batsmen on the other side already know the target, but would still be confident that they can pose a threat on this surface.
It's worked away nicely. Oh, Nickel goes to ground. No possibility of putting pressure on the fielder to go back for 2.
Wouldn't have wanted to run on that overthrow.
It's flying off the edge. It's using the pace of it. Good thing that he did there, Nikhil, was that he went hard at it. So in the event of an edge, which did happen, it was able to fly some distance.
He's certainly not been half-hearted in any of the shots that he's played so far, and he's also looked to run as intensely as he could.
Of these matches for these under 21 matches are so important as well, because here who could well end up forcing themselves into that United States under 19 team. Remember, they're sending 2 teams to play in the West Indies regional under 19 tournament down the ground. That's a good hit. And it's 4. Take nothing away from the fielder though. He gave it a big effort. Your guy Rehan, but he wasn't able to stop it. Again, clearing that front leg, taking his hands through the shot. Just couldn't tap it back.
In general, the fielding's been quite good.
Important boundary as they look to head up to around 140. Somehow, 140 is always a difficult score to chase in a T20 match.
It's just like how 240 is difficult in a 50 over match.
Yeah, it's just something about it. It's as if the batting team, the team that is chasing, don't really know how to go about it. It has happened so many times, even in international cricket, where they can easier get 188.
I think we see it quite a lot in the CPL as well.
Yeah.
Especially on these Guyana surfaces.
Now this surface is a bit slow. This surface is a bit slow, but it's still a bit quicker than what you have in Guyana. But it's taking turn. You would have seen that. Slashed away. That's a lovely shot. Bang! Into the media center for 6. Dillon goes ducking.
Hopefully that hasn't woken any snakes.
I think they only come out in the night. Why would they come out in this heat?
I guess I need to go join them. That wherever they are might not be quite as hot as out here.
Or you can join them tonight at the ground. deliveries in the air. A chance for a catch to be taken. Calmly taken in the end. Arnav has to go after clouting that big six. So 138 now for 7. 4 deliveries to go.
Just keeping it in the areas that's always going to be difficult to play that cross-batted shot at. Just resulting in the top edge. So 4 balls to go. New batsman joins Nikhil, who would certainly want to get as much of the strike as he can. It's Yash who's joined him. Again, brilliant stuff from Akmal. His spell has been brilliant stuff. 2 for 23 and just coming to the end of his final over.
It's a big swing there from Yash.
Just taking any advice from Nikhil, he'd say to go as hard as you can.
Akmal has scalped 2 men already.
Akmal, big number 57, AK 57. It's upgraded from the 47.
Just 2 deliveries to go. So they'll be eyeing around 140. It means they'll still be in this game.
Definitely still have a chance in this game. Not going to be easy. And all depend on how the East Bay Blazers start in that power play. Remember, Chicago have scored around 60 odd in that phase.
Well, that's a good hit. That is what they call Lati in Hindi. That's 6. That's into ground number 6. Let's have a look at that again, Billers. Where's 150 on the cards now? In the slot. He's clearing that front leg and taking his hands through the shot. And that goes for 6.
One thing I haven't seen too much of is going straight hitting, and well affected there from Nikhil, and I just want to continue hitting straight.
Yeah, just taking his hands through the shot there. 2 deliveries. 1 delivery to go. It's 145, by the way. Final delivery. He's bold. Why play that shot when the previous shot you stood up and you struck the ball down the ground for 6? Why play that shot? Let's have a look at it.
Exactly what I was
This made
wondering.
absolutely no sense.
Played that previous shot so well, and I was imploring him to play it some more, but didn't seem to want to play that shot anymore. Well,
So
seems
Chi-
like
Chicago Tigers, they have ended their innings at 145 for a loss of 8. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we see the reply.
All right, so Chicago Tigers, 145 on the board in 20 overs. It's going to be East Bay Blazers who are coming into bat now. We'll have the first ball coming up in a couple of minutes for Chicago. The localite Arya was playing for them. He got out early today, a really good talent, but somewhat a cameo by Shiv Shani. He scored 27 of 31, Kevin Phillips 16, and in the end Nikhil Mudliar, he scored 22 of 12. That was a good knock. And from the bowling perspective for East Bay, basically the pick of the bowlers was Akmal, who picked up 4 overs, 3 for 30, and a couple of wickets for Ryan and Advait. Well, we have the first ball coming up now, and it's interesting that Chicago Tigers, they're going to start with a spinner here, and the two batters who have walked in for East Bay Blazers, Hizbullah Durrani and Suleiman Arabzai. We have an exciting run chase lined up. A beautiful day here at the Prairie View Cricket Fields. As always, excellent conditions for cricket. Of course, it's hot. It's Houston. You expect that. First ball of the second inning here. The bowler coming right arm over. Oh, he tries to go for the big shot. That's an outside edge, and that's the first wicket here. Well. What a start here for Chicago. The first ball of the inning, and Hizbullah tried to play the big shot. Let's take a look at the replay here. This ball from the spinner was nicely tossed up and going for the expansive shot. First ball getting the outside edge. A good catch by the keeper. And what a perfect start here for Chicago. 145 on the board, and they get a wicket off the first ball. And that's first wicket down for East Bay Blazers. We'll be back in a few seconds. All right, then we have the number 3 batter walking in here for East Bay Blazers, and it's going to be really interesting. The bowler is pumped up. He gets a wicket on the first ball of his spell here. Yash, a very good start here for Yash Patel, and the number 3 batter has walked in. He's getting ready to face his first ball. Yash coming right arm over. This time very well tossed up, played towards covers. It's a dot ball. Good start here by Chicago. They started with a spinner, and the call is justified. Ryan Bhagani, the localite, has walked in. He's from Houston, plays actively in the Houston Cricket League, one of the talented young kids from Houston. He's walked in at number 3, getting ready to face his second ball here against Yash. Short and nicely steered away towards point. So 3 dot balls to start. Ryan, of course, he's played a lot over here at the Prairie View Cricket Fields, and he's grown up here, and this is a perfect day for him to make a mark again for his team. 4th ball of the first over here, tossed up outside the off stump, and well, that was an outside edge. Luckily for Ryan, that went away from the fielder at backward point and the gully region. So 4 dot balls. This is a very good start here by Yash Patel. Right from the first ball, he's been on his mark, and he's really settled into a good rhythm. He's bowling from the highway end here. The target is not that big for East Bay, just 145, but the perfect start here for the bowling team. This is short, and it's cut away beautifully. It's gone away from the fielder in the gully region. It's going towards the deep backward point region, and it's a couple of runs in the end. Appeal for run out. Not out, says the umpire. Well, let's take a look at the replay. This ball was shot outside the off stump, cut away beautifully, and went away from the fielder at backward point. And then it was a good throw by the fielder, but in the end Ryan gets a couple of runs. He's off the mark over here. 2 runs on the board. The first runs for East Bay Blazers. Final ball of the first over coming up. There's a slip in place. And we have Yash continuing here. This time tossed up beautifully and then defended towards covers. So couple of runs to finish the first over and a wicket. A good one here for Chicago. We'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, we have the second over now, and it will be Garv who will be coming into the attack. He's going to bowl from the far end. First ball of the second over here. Garv coming right arm over. There's a full toss played towards mid-off. It's a dot ball here. First ball for the other opener. He was watching everything from the non-striker's end in the first over. And he's yet to get off the mark here. Suleiman Arabzai. One slip in place. In comes Garv. This time well bowled. And that's a wicket over here. This was beautifully bowled by Garv. And popped up in the air on the offside. And a simple catch to the fielder at backward point. We'll take a look at the replay when it comes up. Here it is. His ball outside off on a good length. And checked his shot. In fact, this went straight to short third. Perfectly placed that fielder. And 2 wickets down here for East Bay Blazers. Not quite the start they would have wanted when they're chasing 145. But East Bay Blazers are 2 for 2. We'll be back in a few seconds.
Inspired start here from the Chicago team so far. 2 early wickets, starting off with spin a bit differently than the East Bay Blazers would have started, but we did see a bit of turn and drift on offer in the first innings, so it was definitely something worth investigating and good reward for them and good discipline from Garv as well.
Yeah, I mean, excellent captaincy. Spinner to start the first over, and then the medium pacer Garv. Both have picked up 1 wicket here. We have the new batter Sabrish walking in at number 4. He faces his first ball here. Beautifully balled. That ball angled in and then went away from the right-handed batter. And Garv has started really well over here. So this is just a perfect start over here for the bowling team when they're defending 145.
As good a start as you would want. Those 2 early wickets give them the momentum right away, and East Bay Blazers going to have quite a few questions. Would have wanted at least 20-30 runs from their openers.
This time appeal for leg before, and that's a wicket. The slow dreaded finger comes up. The 3rd wicket down here. Sabrish goes for a duck. We'll take a look at the replay. The ball, well, it's all happening here for Chicago. Let's take a look at the replay. This ball, well, that was full Yorker right in front of the stumps. And the 2nd wicket here for Garv. The 3rd wicket down for East Bay. The perfect Yorker, especially when a batter is right there at the crease. Just a couple of balls faced. That's crashing into the stumps. Well, it's all happening here. 3 wickets down, 2 runs on the board, East Bay Blazers. We'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, we have the left-handed batter who's walked in here, Advait. He gets ready to face his first ball here. This is on the pads, flicked away on the leg side. He's off the mark over here, Advait. It's a single. And what an over this has been from Garv. He's been on the mark, on the money, right from ball one. And it's 3 for 3 East Bay Blazers. Ryan Bagani, he's now getting ready to face his first ball against the pacer Garv. Ryan has got a couple of runs in the first over, so he's off the mark. 3 runs on the board. Final ball of the second over coming up here. And East Bay Blazers, they need 143 from here. Required run rate close to 8 as Garv comes into Ryan. This is beautifully bowled and it's steered away on the offside for a quick single. Good running by both the batters. So a single to finish the second after 2 East Bay Blazers. 4 runs on the board, 3 wickets down. We'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, so it is a single of the first ball. In fact, it's a bye signal by the umpire. 5 runs on the board, 2.1 overs done. 5 runs on the board, 3 wickets down for East Bay Blazers. And for Chicago, it's the perfect start over here. Opting to start with a spinner in the first over. Good captaincy by the captain for Chicago. I mean, it's a bold move, getting the spinner in the power play and the spinner justifying the call. Yash Patel. He'll be now bowling to the left-handed batter Advait, who got off the mark in the previous over. There's one slip in place and the spinner Yash Patel is going to come right arm around from the highway end. Second ball of the over here. Tossed up and he tried to flick it. Played it with soft hands so the ball didn't pop up back to the bowler. Yash Patel, a tall spinner, so he's got the advantage of his height and so far he's using it in the right way. In comes Yash, right arm around to Advait. This time flighted and well, that could have gone on to hit the stumps. Luckily for Advait, not quite the case. We'll take a look at the replay quickly. This was beautifully tossed up by Yash Patel and well, it just missed the off stump by a whisker. Next ball of the over here. Again, beautifully bowled.
I actually thought that it hit the stump, but hit something else. Didn't disturb the furniture at all.
Yep. Alright. It is Yash continuing here from the highway end. Advait on strike. This time the quicker one. Well, again, how did that miss the stumps? 2 balls in this over. Let's take a look at the replay here. That ball was quicker, came in and again missed by a whisker. What an over this has been so far by Yash, bowling in the power play and showing full control with the ball. This time down the leg side, it will be a wide down the leg side against the left-handed batter.
So many good tools to work with here from Yash, the height as well as the pace variations. And a surface which is encouraging him.
5th ball of the second over, this time tossed up and it's played in the air over the head of the bowler and it's gone all the way for 6. What a shot this by Advait. This was tossed up and he went for it in the power play. Let's take a look at the replay. Beautifully played. There is no one in the deep. It is the power play and he smashed it for 6. What a shot this.
It's going to be key for them to think about using the power play as much as they can, because in the first innings Chicago scored between about 50 or 60 runs in that phase and then eventually got to 145. So it's important to get the runs flowing early, especially with these early wickets as well.
Alright, that's the first boundary of this inning. In fact, it went for 6. So Yash, he will be now In fact, that's the end of the over. The scorecard is still to update that. So it's 3 overs, 12 for 3. Garv is coming in right arm over now. This time the Yorker played towards mid-on by Ryan. And the first ball of the fourth over is the dot ball. The current run rate for East Bay is 4 runs per over. Required run rate is close to 8. It is not out of reach. These two need to stitch together a partnership here.
That one went straight to Yash as well at mid-1. Keeping himself in the action, doesn't want to give away that ball at any point.
Garf coming in. This time Ryan dancing down the track. And the bat went out of his hand. So he could not get the connection he was expecting. In fact, luckily for him, it was not a caught and bowled. Let's take a look at the replay. Couple of steps down the track. And the bat came out. And well, luckily for him, it was not a caught and bowled.
Well, the bat didn't just come out. The handle broke off.
Well. It's really interesting. Changing bats.
I know many batsmen tend to have their own spare bats. But we see that a lot nowadays. Other times previously might have had to borrow one. He had his replacement waiting and ready.
Alright, it's the replay here again. Take a look.
See there, the handle stuck in the hand with him. I'm sure it took everyone by surprise.
Garf continuing here. This time again, well, beautifully bowled. He's really wearing his length. You see the first ball was in the block hole. He's got a wicket already of a Yorker. And now this one was not a Yorker. It was not in the arc. A tad back of length. So this is good skillful bowling by Garf.
Yeah, and that length variation is going to be key as well. In the first innings, we saw a lot of top edges. Batsmen trying to play cross-batted to the pieces.
Garf coming in right arm over here to Ryan. This time he's played the big shot over the head of mid-on. Straight back past the bowler. And this is a 6. Advait played one in the previous over. This time Ryan playing it over the head of the bowler. Beautiful connection. Take a look at the replay. In the arc and beautifully played over mid-on. It's straight gone over the head. Hits the side screen. And like I mentioned, Ryan plays here locally in Houston. And he's used to this Prairie View cricket field. And that shot was really well timed and went all the way. So 2 sixes in this inning so far. Exciting counter attack here by both the batters.
Well, certainly keeping the action up at the top level here.
We see a change in field. The slip is coming out now. And mid-on has fallen back to long on. The fielder at short mid-wicket. This time beautifully bowled. Angled in the slow Yorker. Nicely played by Ryan. Defended it back to the bowler. Couple of sixes in this inning. 3 wickets. Well. It's all happening. It's just been 3.5 overs. And there's been so much action. That's the beauty of T20 cricket.
Well, certainly you never know what you're going to get. Well, in any format of cricket, really. There's always so many variables at play.
Garf coming in here from the far end. Final ball of the over. Shot. And this time he's picked it up beautifully. It's gone over the head of long on. All the way for 6. What a shot this by Ryan. Beautiful connection. And it's gone outside the ground. And they'll have to fetch the ball. Let's take a look at the replay. This was shot. And this was beautifully timed. There was a fielder at long on. He had no chance. It's gone all the way. Couple of sixes. 4 overs done. East Bay Blazers counter-attacking well. 24 for 3. We'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, so 4 overs, 24 for 3. We have an exciting run chase. 122 from here. 16 overs. Required run rate is less than 8. So the run rate is not an issue. We are just waiting for the ball to come back. Like I mentioned, it went out of the ground. That was a brilliant shot by Ryan. He's raced on to 15 now. with a couple of sixes. And Advait, the left-hander, batting on 7. He's got 1 6 as well. So 3 sixes. Those have been the scoring shots, the big scoring shots. 18 runs in 3 balls technically. And East Bay Blazers, they picked up 3 wickets. It will be Yash Patel to continue here. We're just waiting for the ball to come back. We'll be back in a few seconds. All right, we are back here after a short break. We were waiting for the ball to come back, but we'll have the first ball of the 5th over here. It will be Yash Patel. He will be bowling from the highway end. In fact, he's continuing here from the highway end. He's bowling right arm around. And we have the first ball of the 5th over. 24 for 3, East Bay Blazers. First ball of the 5th over here. Advait on strike. This time well bowled, played on the offside towards point. It's a dot ball. We have with us the manager for Chicago Tigers, our very own Mr. Nishant. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. And couple of dot balls to start the 5th over here. Yash Patel, Chicago Tigers, 145 on the board. Firstly, I'll say welcome. And as a manager, how is this experience with these young kids? I'll take your comment after this ball. This time well bowled, angled in, 3rd dot ball. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thanks, Nikhil, for having me.
Yeah.
It's been a good experience to start with. We had all our Chicago Tigers players who played the last minor league under 21. All of them, we had them in the team. Plus, we got additional help from some of the brightest talents of under 21 across other minor league teams. So.
Awesome. We have the next ball here, defended 4 dot balls. All right, that's great to see. I mean, you have been coming to Houston very often. You play actively in Masters USA cricket yourself, a very aggressive batter. I mean, I've played against you, and I remember those big sixes. Just this experience, you must be really feeling good to see the kids, how they are doing. I'll get your comment just a moment. This time dancing down the track, well bowled. It's a single towards mid-on. Yeah, but I mean, you have been here at the Prairie View cricket fields. Just your take on the facilities, the kind of cricket these kids are getting to experience here in Houston.
Yeah, I keep telling my son at his age, the amount of cricket he has played and the places where they have played. Facilities like PVR, we know how hard it is to have something like this and keep it maintained on an ongoing basis. They're doing a very good job of making sure those pitches are available. The outfield is fine. There was rain yesterday. We still were able to start a bit late but have a full match.
All right, we have the final ball of the over, beautifully bowled. That was the carom ball, a dot ball to finish the 5th after 5. East Bay Blazers 25 for 3. Yeah, continuing with you. I mean, you yourself being so active in cricket in Chicago, can you just let us know, like, how does it run there, the academy, the youth, and in general cricket in Chicago, given the weather challenges?
Yeah, we get to play 6 months of cricket outdoors, but anything other than that has to be necessarily indoors. So we have an academy, Chicago Youth Cricket Academy. We have a beautiful indoor facility, 8 full cricket lanes where people can practice to their heart's content in winters. So most of the action there during winters will be indoors. We have maybe close to 40 different pitches. Most of them are AstroTurf. We have a couple of hybrid pitches, one of them which we manage and maintain as well. Most of our kids get to play on the hybrid pitch there. So that's the best experience that they can get in Chicago area. Turf pitches in Chicago is, hard to maintain, and there was one of that earlier, but not much being maintained there. So right now I would say there are 0 turf pitches. 2 hybrid pitches are the best we can get, and some of these kids play on during summer, Saturdays and Sundays, both the days they get to play on the hybrid pitches, and that's how they try to get better locally. Other than that, there are always hours of nets that they do indoors, and then given a chance, we get to come here or Atlanta. We would be the first ones to get there quick.
That's awesome. We have the first ball of the 6th over. Mitansh angled across the left-handed batter. It's a dot ball. Well, I mean, this is just amazing to hear, the kind of cricket that goes around in Chicago given the weather challenges. But it's selfless people like Nishant who actually make it happen, the opportunities for the youngsters. And, there are many like him all over US, which is where US is actually progressing with respect to cricket in general, especially if you consider the youngsters. So I'll get your comment on that, the progress of USA cricket after this ball, as we have Mitansh coming in right arm over to the left-handed batter. This time beautifully played. It's played over the head of the fielder at covers. It was short, and well, what a stop that by the fielder, giving the chase and keeping it to a couple of runs. They are thinking of the third. This could be a run out, and that's out. Well. It's all happening. Not quite the result that the batting team would have wanted after that very good shot, but what an effort in the field by the fielder there. He ran all the way towards deep cover, dived, and then threw the ball perfectly. Let's take a look at the replay. This ball was angled across short, and it was cut away beautifully over the circle on the offside. Look at the fielder giving the chase here, and he dived and he stopped the ball inside the boundary. And then just look at that throw. A rocket throw straight to the bowler, and that's a run out over there, right there. That's the fourth wicket down. These two are putting together a good partnership. But, well, I mean, I'll first get your comment on the fourth wicket. The perfect scenario for your team, given you're Chicago.
Yeah,
And
I think Parth did a wonderful job there. The guy who ran behind the ball was Parth.
Okay.
And one of the things, Mitansh was the captain who was a bowler as well. One of the things Mitansh told today morning when he looked at the team that we had was, this is the best possible fielding combination that I could get. So I think this was just an example,
of that, yep.
of that particular thing.
All right, and then your take on, USA cricket, the progress in the last few years, like, you have been there, how is it?
Yeah, I'll be slightly biased here. I think the minor league, the group of owners who are working on the minor league are doing a real good job. I know there are a lot more things happening outside, but I just want to spend a few minutes on the efforts that are being put by the minor league owners. This tournament is also an effort purely by the minor league owners to make sure that we give the playing time to the youth, which we want to bring up. And the concept of having minor league is to bring the local talent up, and this is an example.
Absolutely. This time the first ball, the left-hander dancing down the track, and again, what an effort. I mean, this could have been another stunner. We were talking about this being the best fielding team as mentioned by the captain Mitansh. Let's take a look at this. This was actually converted into a half chance given the ground that this fielder, I believe, was
Shiv Shani.
Okay. The fielder, just look at the ground coverage over there and almost pulled up a stunner over there.
And he's a left-hander. He was running towards his right side as well. Yeah. So,
all right. So yeah, thank you, Nishant. I know you're the manager. You have to be there, guiding the team. But we appreciate your time over here. And again, this kind of work you're doing for cricket, for USA cricket in general. The only thing I will say, Nishant himself, a very active cricket player. He has a good team in Masters USA cricket over 40 and over 50. And I'm sure that team will give a run for the money even to these young kids.
Yeah, we will try for sure. What happens after that, we will leave it that way.
All right. Thank you, Nishant. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Nikhil. Thank you.
Yeah.
Relatively quiet over so far as runs have gone, but of course the run out as well occurring in that over. Just got some thoughts from the Chicago Fire camp there from team manager. 29 for 4. Just coming to the end of the power play, and East Bay Blazers would certainly not be very happy with that. And 29 for 4 it will remain, with 6 overs having been bowled in this run chase. Things looking very tough, and we'll have a look at the worm in between overs. as you would have seen on the comparison in between overs, much below where they should be. East Bay Blazers, and this man on screen, Patel, is definitely a huge contributor to his team's cause at this point. 3 very economical overs bowled up until this stage. Looks likely to continue. He's feasting upon this surface. And that's bowled him, going straight through. Another wicket for Ash Patel. He's absolutely making hay while the sun shines. You don't hear that from a bowler's perspective, but bowlers can do that as well. Straight through, a straighter delivery there, and just pretty much hitting the stumps that weren't defended well enough by the batsman. Easy as it comes for the off spinner. That's batsman now coming out. It's been a procession, really. They've met each other on that boundary line many a time throughout this innings. And that target of 146 just looks further and further away for them. We have to just make a correction there. Seems Parth Patel has gotten another wicket. It's a 6th wicket falling here. And they've gone absolutely mad, have Chicago. They've done this here. They've really taken East Bay Blazers out of contention. It's clueless running there, tucking it away, looking for that single. The keeper was after it, and the keeper, well, he had some help in his spot, and they're just completely hullabaloo out there. One wicket after the other. Well, that was 2 in a row, actually. So, team is going to be on a hat trick here for this 3rd delivery. Parth Patel is not, but I don't think he's going to be bothered nonetheless. Sizing up to be an early finish for them, as well as a complete victory. That score of 145 in the first innings certainly looks like a mammoth winning total at this point. Would have been watching throughout the first innings. Many of you would have been watching thinking, why don't they get a move along? Seems as if making scoring look more difficult than it needs to be, but really it was a masterclass of batting in the first innings. Many quick singles, looking to convert those 1s into 2s, and very much impactful given what we're seeing here now. Those runs would have been completely vital towards this cause. Now, how do you amp up your team from an East Bay Blazers perspective? The coach, the management, the teammates would all be very much feeling this heat out here now. What a delivery to greet new batsman. Left hand out there as well, off spinner Parth Patel is gonna certainly be licking his lips. The off spinners have really enjoyed bowling from that highway end. That's not an enjoyable delivery for Parth Patel though. Bonus run for East Bay Blazers. They'll take that with arms wide open and ask if they can have another. Bit wider again, shortish too, but played straight towards the fielder at point. And again, and this time clipped through the leg side. Just get one, so good bit of fielding there to back up this bowling display. Certainly not be too perturbed about the batsman just running through those quick singles. Our run rate has already gone up to 8.66. Again, just disciplined bowling. Not looking for anything that the surface isn't offering, just complementing what the surface has been offering. 33 for 6. And it's been 7 overs into this reply. You see it there, it's not quite a telephone number, but 3 ducks, as well as a single. Not good reading for the East Bay Blazers at all. And mostly bowlers to follow. It's a trial by spin. It's been working wonders for the Chicago Tigers. And they definitely seem to be content with bowling as much spin as they can. This new bowler into the attack now, Sean J. Relatively new on the surface, Sean Jindial. Looks as if it's going to be left arm spin. Yes, it is. And that's very full to start off with. Batsman was certainly not expecting it. Farad. He also bowled brilliantly first up with his changes of pace. Very good continued pressure from Chicago Tigers. Interesting load up from Jindial. Does quite a bit at the point of release. But it's a very good looking bowling action here from what we're seeing right away. There's that slight variation, the seam position, allowing it to just come in on the angle. Of course, we've seen the off spinners liking the highway end and now bowling from the prairie end. The left arm spinner, and wow, that's really come in quite intently again. He's really seemed to work out these angles quite quickly, Sean Jindial. It's very likely another wicket is going to be brewing here. Extra pressure. That run rate continuing to climb. Discipline over so far. And just played down quietly to finish that 8 over, 35 for 6 now. And things continuing to be quite a struggle for the East Bay Blazers. Pat Patel continues and nicely driven, but just a single. And 10 more still required in this run chase. Umpire just holding up Pat Patel a bit. Spinners always like to get through their overs quickly, especially in this shorter format. You almost see the opposite in the longer format. They want to extend the over a bit, but in T20, you do want to feel as if you're getting through those overs quickly and the batsman just can't get on top of you. It's just another form of mental pressure that you can apply in addition to what the surface offers you. There's Varad to face up again, and nicely played. Again, fielding, as the coach of Chicago would have noted, is one of the stronger fielding units, and not seeing anything quite too spectacular as yet, but in fielding it's not about those theatrics, it's more about the consistency, and they've continued to restrict them to just those ones. Again there, almost a chance of a run out, but making it home safely. But that pressure always continues to build on you as a batsman. It's going to make you second guess each run that you are going to take, just because you might think back to that fielder's arm being a very intense arm that almost got you out, but didn't quite. Also position the fielders very effectively as well. I think first innings we didn't see the best field positioning from East Bay Blazers. So many catches just going into no man's land, or the fielders just not coordinating as well. You've seen that pressure from fielding and bowling in the second innings really come to the fore. 39 for 6. It's 9 overs bowled and 11 more to go. Chindial continues. And again, that drift that he's getting in, as well as just looking to pitch it up quite consistently as well. I mean, really there's about the width and angle that he's using. Batsman just can't get any bat to ball. It's really going to continue to infuriate both of them. It's been one thing I've noticed as well on the surface. We'll get back to that. It's just cut away. Gonna settle for one yet again. Sweep shot from Aditya, and again falling safe. These singles aren't gonna get them any closer. Well, it is physically going to get them closer to that total, but run rate continues to climb. Need to find some way of releasing the pressure. It doesn't have to be the big shots, but at this stage you do have to find the boundary. And he does look for the boundary. Has he found the boundary? He's found a fielder close to the boundary. That fielder has watched it go over the line. Has he? Yeah, the umpire is now signaled for, so fielder just seemed to have lost it out there in the deep. And it is that risk that is going to have to be taken at some point or the other. Yeah, it did just evaded him a bit. Didn't seem to pick it up quite as easily as it may have been, or may have seemed. But one thing I do notice about this is it is contrary to what we saw there, but it is a bit harder to hit across the line to pacers or spinners. But what we saw in the first innings from Nikhil, it was effectiveness of just hitting the ball straight. It's always an encouraged option is to hit the ball straight, because so much less variables going against you. Put full power towards the ball when you hit it straight, and sort of able to negate a bit of that deviation of the surface as well. It's hard work out there for fielders and batsmen alike. Could also wonder if just that sapping heat out there would have taken anything out of the batsmen on the East Bay Blazers, and nothing out of the ordinary, you would say, in cricketing terminology as far as weather reports. 33 as it currently stands, 33 degrees Celsius, has a feel-like temperature of 38. One thing you would see, at least looking at my forecast right now, is the wind isn't very strong. Wind is just about 7-8 k's per hour, which is quite weaker compared to what you see on a lot of cricket grounds. You think in the Caribbean, winds up to 30 k's per hour. Australia and New Zealand sometimes goes up to 40. But here we don't have that same amount of wind, which makes that humidity and heat even more intense than you might think. He's certainly going quite intently on that highway just behind Pat Patel, that highway that the off spinners have run a frenzy from, really. Another thing you have to consider is that it's wide open ground space as well, so not much as far as pavilions or stands to help shelter out some of that sun. You're getting the full blast from the sun. And Aditya is certainly going full blast with his bat as well. Full blast at the air. Well, this is not Pat Patel bowling as the scorecard would have you believe. Pat Patel is not a leg spinner. Or he may be a leg spinner. The scorecard just seems to be catching up now. It is Rahul Basu. Shades in hand as Basu usually does. Seen some promising spinners on display today. It's a good adjustment there from the leg spinner. It's always a difficult art to switch over to the left-hander or right-handed batsman, but did quite a decent job there in the end, did Rahul. 50 for 6 One ball to go in the 11th. Straight to the fielder. 50 for 6 it will remain after 11 overs. Speed Blazers need 96 from the remaining 9 overs. Now Jindial continues his spell. Pulled into the deep, 2 fielders converging, and in the end they both put together some decent teamwork. See, there was coming close to that fielder there, but the other one was able to clean it up in the end. This time hit straight to extra cover, and well, the return was not all that bad in the end. But some intense running between the wickets. See there, didn't have much distance for that ball to travel. Had it been a direct hit, he would have maybe have still been in actually, but would have certainly made things closer. Without the direct hit, no chance. Chance of an LBW there, but not much interest from the umpire. Don't think it was too much going for it really. The angle there, in the end, looked quite close, but he came across his stumps quite a bit, came down the crease as well, so impact would have been the question on that occasion. Getting cheeky now, slowed down the pace on that occasion from Sean as well. And a bit of a misfield, but no punishment from the batsman. Settled on 1 again. This time wide, he's going very wide there, and that has resulted in the wicket. Smart bowling here from Sean Jindial. Very, very smart bowling. Always hear about those matchups, the left-hander, you want to be bowling the off spin, but this is a very effective way of getting those left-handers out as well. In his regular stance, had he left that alone, it would have been given a wide. But he saw that it was just full enough to entice him, but just wide enough to end him. Aditya has to go for just 8. It's been a laboured approach ever since those early procession of wickets, and certainly would not be wanting to be the East Bay Blazers out there. Certainly getting blazed from every corner of this Prairie View ground. 55 for 7. It's been great pressure here from Jindial. His first 2 overs kept things tight and built up on the pressure from Pat Patel and Ash Patel, which we saw earlier. But he just stuck to his processes and saw that chance with previous batsman wanting to just push the envelope a bit more, but smart bowling is what did him in the end. Just that wide angle. It was sort of just coming from a blind spot, and then pitching wide, able to just drag him across his crease a bit and not impact as much power on the ball as he would have liked. So it's Faisal Khan now. Faisal Khan will remain on a note. 55 for 7. 12 overs have been bowled. Again, we see there, once we had those early wickets, William just never was able to catch up. So Rahul Basu to continue. Nicely cut away from Varad. But again, boundary has just been running away from East Bay Blazers. It's almost as if the boundary line is allergic to them. In total, throughout the innings, we've had 2 sixes, 3 sixes, and 1 4. Not the sort of reading that you would predict at any point. 2 sixes hit by Ryan Bagani and 1 hit by Advait, who just departed not too long ago. That 1 4 was hit by Varad himself. Apart from that, it's just been singles, whatever extras. Driven nicely through the offside again. But that sweeper on that cover boundary has put in quite a shift. It's been a fortress that Chicago Tigers have put up here. Ah, what a beauty. That is the finish off the over. Not quite. Yes, that did finish off the over. 60 for 7 after 13. Still a few overs remaining from the Patelov-Smelling twins. And can't forget about that one that's also remaining from this man on screen here. Never mind that. Thought we were going to see another from Sean, but this is a new bowler, Siddhant. Batsmen just seem completely lost out there. Can't blame these crop of batsmen. They are more in the team for the bowling that they provide. We see from Siddhant is again more left arm spin. So the 5th spinner now being introduced into the attack. A trial by spin, as you might see in visiting Chicago. And that's gone up. That's that gone very far. Completely lost that. We're probably going to have a break to try to fetch it. A bit too full on that occasion and was in the slot waiting to be punished, and was done so quite effectively from Faisal Khan. Faisal Khan certainly seems as if he's able to hit some wonderfully large sixes, and you look at his career there, 15 matches and his strike rate 153. He's gonna be here for a fun time. He's not gonna be just prodding forward and defending or leaving anything. He's certainly gonna try to get them as close to this target as he can. But while we wait for them to fetch the ball, we will take a short break. Well, the ball has been retrieved, and seems as if Faisal certainly wants to get it lost again. There's always going to be a bit of a break every time that ball goes into that field end of the ground. There's a lot of tall grass and shrubs around. And just dropping that length back a bit there. Oh, almost was a chance of a run out, but not quite close enough. So, first over really that's going a bit more towards the batsman's favour, and even more so with that wide. 12 runs from this over so far. Still an extra delivery to go. Finishes it off quite well. .72 for 7. 6 more overs to go. You look at that chart as well. That tied with the biggest over so far in this innings, but apart from that, it's really a chalk and cheese comparison. Many of the players' families as well as support staff there under the tent. And it's one of the ever so effective groundsmen. Well, was very quick there. Just dropped off the lunch and saw him away cool continues. So finding a bit of momentum at this stage. East Bay Blazers. Verada has been the leader in that regard. Oh, and it's up and over the offside as well into the deep. They'll come back for a second. Well, that one almost, it seemed like if it hit the batsman on the way back. Let's have a look at that actually. So he's scrambling through on the left of screen there and just had to do a bit of extra athletics. So, do still have some spin overs remaining, but do have to wonder with this over and the previous one, as that goes big again, but straight into his hands. What a catch! Out in the deep. Made that look absolutely one of the easiest catches he made it look like, but it wasn't quite that easy. And we'll take another look at it. Just as we were talking about the recovery. Oh, wonderfully done. Had to take it while he was moving downwards, but he certainly was in the right spot, picked out his area. And oh, lovely catch there. So just as that recovery was getting underway, well, if you want to call it a recovery, it's always going to be difficult to get towards this target, but certainly salvaged a bit of pride from that knock. You never want to be the team to go down by over 100 runs. So always want to soften that blow as much as you can. Well, don't get caught off guard. Action has finished on ground number 4. We've seen Atlanta Fire taking on. I'll get the fixtures. Have them right here. They've been Atlanta Fire taking on the Philadelphians. So that game done and dusted across there. And this one almost. And that's going up into the air. And it's sailed into the air. Oh, it's going over him. He has not been able to pouch that. Went up and stayed up in the air for an eternity. Went up, came off the bottom half of the bat. Was swirling for a while. Fielder was settled for quite some time, but almost seemed as if he had too much time. Outside of his arc was wide, just wide enough. Stares at the stumps a bit quizzically. He's gonna get a bit of assistance from the umpire now. Glancing down this time, but still just a single. So Supranch now gets himself on strike. We could definitely see Faisal is able to carry on quite well with the bat. We haven't seen too much from Supranch as yet, so whether he looks for that shot or just looks to get Faisal back on strike. Good ball there. Again, cramping him for room. Not yet off the mark, Supranch, and doesn't seem too confident. Again, wide, makes no contact, and 83 for 8 with 4 overs to go. Well, he's actually stumped him on that so nonchalantly that not even the fielders were too confident, given that they know that this game is drawing quickly to a close. It's tossed up and wide and just allowed himself to get out of his crease. Competently done by the keeper, and goes back for the 4th duck of the innings. Indeed, that was the 4th duck of the innings to add to one score of 1. So Yash Patel, the man who started this all off, returns. And has he gotten himself another? Well, they're running. They're certainly running, and there is no wicket there. Going up again, this time through the leg side, and cleared the boundary easily. All the way for 6. Yash Patel not feeling quite as good as he would have been earlier when he was building that pressure. Didn't take a flurry of wickets throughout his spell, but really set the stage early. Too wide this time. Sort of a flat-batted shot straight to long off. Up in the air again. Fielders converging in the deep, but they'll just watch it sail between them for the second 6 of the over. That was a wonderful hit. He purposefully threw that one wider to try to entice him to hit away from his body, but had enough power nonetheless. Faisal Khan. As we saw from his strike rate, he is definitely going to favor going for these big boundaries. And this time straight towards the bowler. Can he finish off what he started, Yash? Not quite. 17 overs now, 98 for 9. That looks to be one of the upcoming teams just finalizing their plans. Going hard at that. That's going up, directly up and straight back to the bowler. Completes a catch off his own bowling, and that's the end of this innings here. 98 is all that the East Bay Blazers are going to be able to conjure up in the end. And that's how that last wicket fell. Again, a wideish delivery this time from over the wicket, but similar story afterwards. Didn't travel far, but traveled high up and into the hands of the bowler. So all's settled this first game on ground number 5. Chicago Tigers reigning victorious. Victorious by 47 runs in the end. Quite a comprehensive win for Chicago Tigers. Brilliant batting displays from Nikhil Mudalia and Shiv Shani first up, and all-round bowling effort, you'd have to say. So well done for the Chicago Tigers, and we'll be back in around an hour's time for game number 2.